What's going on, everybody? This Childish, we're back at it again, coming at you with another D6 video. As always, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Man, it has felt like way too long here. I think I went upwards of, almost 2 days, almost 2 full days without making you guys a video. Now, I apologize. I work every other weekend with regards to my job, so I've been super busy. That being said, because it's taken so long here, we got a ton of things to talk about today. We're going to get you all caught up where I'm at with regards to progression. We're going to be showcasing one of the new PvP monsters that I got, and then, of course, I want to drop some of that educational knowledge, give you that knowledge bomb here, as we had a couple of questions that were brought out to me, and I hope that the information I'm going to provide for you in order for you to accelerate your progression should be able to help you out. So first off, let's take a look at the progression. We're moving right along here through Hell mode and working on that clearing of the Jin faction. As you can see, that skilled Dragoon is calling my name, but I'll be completely honest with you, I spent a ton of time just in the initial stages of Hell mode, taking my time with it, because honestly, I was not ready. When it comes to my account, I was sitting with about 1 6-star and the rest 5 stars with regards to the units that I've been working on, and I have a nice variety of, tankers, DPSers, debuffers, and healers. But the thing of it is that the quality of my units overall were not where it needs to be, so I went back to the hard mode and farmed the boss stages of particular dungeons, more importantly probably the Jin faction, and then the Inuwa, so I can get my defensive ward for some of my support base healers that are scale off of defense, and of course my critical rate or concentration orb, so that I can get a little bit more value out of my DPSers on there. So one thing that I did want to point out when it comes to progression, there's been a lot of people that have seen a couple of other YouTubers and they've been really slamming through the content, right? But some of the people have been asking, hey, well, I'm free to play, where should I be at? What should I be doing right now? I want to give a quick shout out to Kabura Games. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. You might have known him from the Summoners War community. Kabura Kills, Kabura Games. He does Summoners War YouTubing as well as streaming, and has recently started the game a couple weeks back alongside with me, and has really been pushing forward to give you guys some content as well. He did create this little image here to kind of showcase his progression, where he was at as a free-to-play player, and he put in some really key points to go ahead and make note of. More importantly, that aspect of getting those 3-star runes, but then as you progress, making sure that all your other monsters have those 3-star percentage runes. The percentage runes, as you guys know, scale as you level when it comes to these units here. So the more percentage resources that you can get across the board, the overall stats you're going to have, it's going to be helping you out. Just consistently clear those stages here. So it's really been helpful for me, just kind of taking a step back and getting the runes that I need. I definitely encourage you guys, if you guys have kind of hit a plateau, take a little bit of break and do what you got to do when it comes to the farming. And then on the flip side too, don't forget about the awakening of your monsters. I'm going to get, my next video is actually going to have a lot more content. We're going to be talking about some of the things that revolve around awakening, but the fact of the matter is that awakening a monster is going to give you those extra stats that you're looking for. Sometimes, depending on which one it is, it'll give you a certain base stat improvement, maybe not the one you're looking for. If it's an attack-based monster, it has a defense increase or whatever. Ultimately, all the stats overall are going to help you in some way, shape, or form. So, as much as you can, taking advantage of those awakening, process, getting those units awakened and whatnot, definitely take advantage of it if you can. Now, since the last video, it's been, like I said, it's been about a day or two or so, and I kid you not, you guys already know what it is, right? I was super salty with my, I shouldn't even be salty, right? I was super salty with regards to my natural 5-star pulls, as my last 3-star nat 5s, 2 out of the 3 were duplicates or whatnot. But as you might have guessed, I randomly got the luck back in me and was able to pull a couple of nat 5s. But today we're just going to be focusing on the one nat 5 that I've incorporated in my PvP team. Now, when I pulled this one, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit depressed because, again, I've been seeing a lot of Scissor Shaolin out there playing around. And, unfortunately, I did not get that one. I got the rock one. But her kit is pretty interesting, to say the least. And I'm pretty excited to do some more testing. So first go here. Chaos Overflow is going to be able to create a shield that reflects damage for 1.5 seconds and then increases the ally's current buff duration here. So if you have this one paired alongside some kind of buffer that's going to be providing you a little bit more utility for your team, that can definitely help you as an 8-second to 13-second buff, considering some of the buffs buffs out there are anywhere from 8 to 10 seconds, 10 to 12 seconds. That could be a substantial mark. It's almost like having a second round of skills there to go in there. And of course, it has that cleansing aspect that you can do. The 1.5 seconds doesn't seem like all too much, but again, as you guys know, when it comes to this PvE side of things, you know, depending on where you're at, you're definitely going to be seeing some of those elite bosses and whatnot, those mini bosses, you know, get those AoE skills and try to drop them on you before you get an opportunity to break. So making sure that if you don't have a heal, being able to time this skill so that you can provide that shield to reflect the damage onto the rest of the enemies there could be definitely valuable. Now, next skill up here, we got Yin Yang Seal. This one, obviously, I'm pretty excited about because of the fact of PvP. I'm going to be talking about this. This is going to be one of my new strikers that I'm using. Now, this skill, AoE damage, providing the silence and the blind. So again, as you can see right here, the blind aspect here, 55% chance to miss completely, and then the silence aspect, which of course is basically not being able to utilize your skills, is super important, especially for that PvP aspect. As you guys know, when it comes to PvP, we're limited in the skills that we can use because of the RNG. Some skills are going to be down, some skills are going to be up. So if we have the opportunity to basically crowd control the fight and not allow them to use their main skills, the skills that they basically put the units in there to go ahead and take you down with, that can be super valuable. The striker skill, which I'm going to be using her in, is the amplified version of this. We have a 22% chance for both of them, but the cool thing about this is that since she's in the striker skill, we're going to be able to take advantage of her leader skill, which is also going to give us another 10% for status activation. So when it comes to this particular unit, I really like it in the striker position. I feel like in the later stages of your PvP match, being able to have that opportunity to land not one but two types of crowd control is going to be really unique. And then of course, as I continuously get my crest there, I'm going to be making sure that I get the stat activation crest. I want to get those and improve the overall status activation of those two skills so that I can make sure that I land it and basically lock the opponent down. So here's my current arena team here. This has definitely taken some changes over the course of the time. I think you guys saw in previous videos I was using the Paper Fran. I was playing around with Soho because Soho and Paper Fran is a really good combination. Now I'm mixing it up a little bit and trying to provide a little bit more utility in my comp and seeing how that goes about. So we'll take a look at Luna real quick here. Luna, with that skill up that we got from the previous video, it allowed me to get the 100% buff removal on her breaking ability here, so we can go ahead and remove the shield. I think that is extremely important considering how many people bring buffers when it comes to their composition. That's really nice. And then of course the defense, AoE defense break that I can utilize, of course, even more damage if the unit is disabled. So if I chain my effects, time it really completely, time it really good, it should work out pretty well. Obviously, without question, you guys know I'm going to include Carlotta in here because of the fact that her skill is pretty much OP. You can't really get mad at this one. This is going to be allowing me to cycle through my skills all day, so I'm going to use it as much as I can. The healing aspect is going to be really good. Could you use it in the striker position? Sure, but I think the value of getting this skill, having this one be one of the few skills that you can get right off the bat when it comes to PvP, is super strong, and it's going to allow you to get the jump on your opponent if they don't have a color to come at you with. Then last but not least here, this is actually one that I just recently 6-starred. I have a lot of rock monsters that I'll take a look at, and this one here in particular was one that I really wanted to showcase because I really do feel that even though she's a 4-star, and we got a lot of natural 5-stars out there that are just so cool, right? You want to focus on them. I think that she's definitely one of those that may be overlooked to an extent. Don't get me wrong, she's good, and a lot of people use her, but I feel like I don't see enough of it in the arena. Maybe that's just me, but either way, let's take a look at the skill set real quick here. First skill, again, kind of giving you that Shaolin kind of approach here. That we have the Rock Shaolin. We got a blind ability, right? We're going to be able to blind the target for 10 seconds, and then also that's with the critical hit. So also we can ignore the damage that we do, ignore the defense, 50% of the defense that we do upon a critical hit as well. Second skill, also kind of banking on that critical hit faction there. Ignore 60% of your defense and then silencing the target for 5 seconds. 5 seconds is not that much. However, just the simple fact of the matter is that I don't have to rely on status activation, more on critical rate. I'm actually happy about that. When you think about about the status activation is a super low number for a lot of these unit skills. So being able to incorporate my critical rate essentially to activate these skills or the crowd control abilities, I think is good. Obviously, I got a lot of work to do when it comes to my runes and trying to get the right substats, the innate substats, try to find the ones with the critical rate. But if you look at the stats here, I'm just under 50% critical rate, so 50% chance to essentially land those harmful effects. I think she's going to be pretty unique to go to incorporate in the middle of the fight, and then, like I said, if the fight starts to go a little bit farther, I'm going to have that rock Shaolin to go ahead and back me up and then give me both of those, that double blind and double blind and double silence. So here we go with the first match. Funny enough, I got a little bit scared about this because of the fact that, you know, a lot of people have been running paper teams because they've just been so popular in here. We'll have to see how we do. Now I'm going to go ahead and just try to use my silence as quick as I can. Wasn't able to do it, but we did get the knockdown on here, so definitely want to go ahead and continuously lock them down here. Looks like they had I think it was a Cadiz there, a unit that buffed critical rate, critical damage, but either way, we didn't have any issues there. Even though we didn't have any debuffs land, or we didn't even get to the later part of the stage, we were able to take them out really quickly here. Now, here's the scenario that we're not looking for here. We got the paper curve, but he is level 50. So again, we're going to start with the we're going to start with the rock Fran, and we're going to try to stick with that knocking down aspect. Now take note that I actually did not time my blind perfectly there. I should have waited just a little bit as they were down, and right when the blind ended, I silenced the opponents. So even though they were missing all their attacks, now they couldn't even incorporate, they couldn't even do any skills, and so it basically just kind of denied them their ability to utilize their skills in order to take me out. So it's been working pretty good, you know, despite the fact that we have some easier fights right now. But I mean, you know, honestly, it's been working even before the arena resetted today. It's been working pretty good. It obviously depends on, you know, what skills are available here. Once again, I'm not going to waste any time here. I'm going to try to lock him down with my blind. I wasn't able to land it, so I'm going to use my skill here and try to knock him down. No luck there on the knockdown, but again, we're just ripping through their skills. Of course, again, these guys are a little bit low, so hopefully here we're going to find somebody a little bit higher so that we can find like a little bit more challenging opponent. But again, I just wanted to kind of showcase, you know, basically overall how the rotation of the skills goes. When it comes to this one, I'm going to use, you know, Rock Francisca early on, get that knockdown, try to cycle her second skill in if it's available to get the ignore defense here. And then, of course, I'm going to throw in Luna's skills as I see fit. So let's do it one more time. Trying to knock him down. No knockdown. So let's go ahead and try to blind. No luck on the blind here. So let's try to get the defense break. Unfortunately here, he did get his invulnerability shield up. One of the things that I've constantly kind of thought about is the fact of taking a step back when it comes to my breaking ability, trying not to lead with it, because if they do have an Adonis, right, and they have that invulnerability shield or an Eve, then I have to really be paying attention to their skills that are available. She's one of the best PvP breakers in the game, so I got to make sure that I'm utilizing my skills as I see fit. Now, this time around, we did build up that striker ability, but we weren't able to showcase it. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to find one match here that we can go ahead and showcase the skill. So we're moving on here. We ran out of regular arena because now we're going to use, I think it's the designated arena here, being able to use certain units in certain leagues here. So now we're going to go ahead and try it out, see how we do. I did not see an Adonis there, so I'm going to go ahead and try to knock him down. We were able to get the knockdown. Once again, I'm just waiting right now before they come up, and now I'm going to try to blind him, but of course the paper cur was able to get the stun there, locking me down, so I wasn't able to do anything. Got the defense break in. We missed the silence and the blind, unfortunately, so I'm going to try to get the heal up, and we got the cooldown in, but of course it's taken us too long to get it in, and now they got the bonus attack damage and critical buff, so they're just gonna knock me out really quick. These guys were definitely challenging, but of course he did have the lead on me. He had the paper curve versus the rock, and this is something that I'm going to be running into quite a bit. But either way, it was pretty fun to go ahead and go through the process, considering the fact that we had so many issues or finding like decent opponents in the previous matches here. So once again, we got that paper curve. Let's go ahead and try it out. I do want to go ahead and try to get that knockdown if I can. If I can get the knockdown, we did. Let's go ahead and get the defense break in. This defense is going to ignore. Now they're back up, so we're going to go ahead and blind them out. They are blind, so we're sitting pretty good here. They got about 5 seconds before they can try to do their attacks here. They're missing a ton of attacks, so we're going to wait on that. Now we're going to bust out that silence. We did get the silence for 5 seconds, so we're going to go ahead and accelerate our skills, get a heal up because we want to be able to utilize it really, really quick. All right, all right. I did get a knockdown, but they did get their striking ability off, and I think they did a ton of damage here, forcing me not able to recover at the particular time. So overall, doing pretty good, though. All of our skills are landing here. We might actually be able to use Shaolin. Maybe it's getting close, but oh, yes, we are. So this girl is doing work here. She was able to get the blind. She was able to get a silence. But again, you guys didn't get to see that because we basically were able to take him out. So that was a good fight overall. I was pretty happy about that. And hopefully down the road, we'll be able to incorporate a couple of different teams showcasing some of the other new monsters that I got and see how they fall in that PvP meta. One of the questions that I've been getting as of recent is when it comes to progression, what are some of the units that you can incorporate in your team if you don't have any of these OP natural 4 and natural 5-star healers? Of course, if you got super fortunate when it comes to your nat 5s, you can definitely just kind of push through the beginning of the content. But once you start getting into the hard stages and definitely moving on to the hell stages, you're going to need some kind of support in the form of heals. So if you're not fortunate enough to get the big boys, I do want to showcase just 3 different healers that, even though they are 3-star, I do feel like they're worth talking about, and I do feel like they're worth your time taking a look at, because again, 3 stars, while they're not as good as the upper hand, they're a little bit easier to skill up, so you can get a little bit more value out of them because of the fact that you can skill them up so quick. So we got Tong here. His first skill has a HP recovery, right? It has the HP recovery. It's immediate based on the team HP and the max HP. So this is good overall. Just being able to take it all on that HP. You can stack it with vitality runes if you want to. And then the cool thing about this is that he also provides that support from taking less damage for 10 seconds while you're performing that heal. Okay. Second skill, this one provides the AoE. It's based on your attack. And then it has a small chance to decrease the target's attack for 12 seconds and also stun. So this is a unique little combination here when it comes to healer. He has a healer and he's a breaker at the same time. Me personally, and you'll kind of see this with the next 2 units that I showcase, when it comes to support, especially for the healer aspect, I really like the ones that provide that they're kind of all in or all out. So the ones that are providing 2 options of overall support on the defensive side of the support side, or the healing side, so to speak. Okay, so again, this might be something you're looking at if you're trying to incorporate some kind of a support, but maybe you need another breaker in there to kind of fill in that void on the stages that you're having a little bit of struggle. But overall, because of the fact that he can heal relatively well, but his other skills are based on a different substat, it kind of stinks because you can't focus everything on the stats here. But me personally, it might make you feel like you need to focus on one or the other. Obviously, if you get the percentage-based attack runes, great, but I would put a little bit more emphasis on the vitality runes, getting him as much HP as possible, because if he's your healer, you want to make sure that you have as much HP as you can, as that's what his heal is based off of, the team HP as well as the max HP. Next one up here, we got Vista, the scissors one. We got 2 different skills to look at here. This one, again, it's an immediate heal. It's not a heal over time, but this one's going to be based on the defense here. Another cool thing about this one is that it's going to have a small chance to remove at least 1 debuff from the ally. It's not a full-blown cleanse, but at least it has an opportunity to remove some effects here. And then the second one here is going to provide you a heal over time to kind of go alongside that immediate heal, and then also improves the stat of resist by 20%. I find this very, very useful on those boss stages here, especially if you are like trying to maneuver and you don't get too fortunate. Maybe you miss an opportunity to kind of get around and get locked down or whatnot. So having that status resist is obviously very, very important. The last thing you want to do, especially when you're moving into the hard and hell stages, is not make that crucial mistake, get locked down, and basically have to restart the match here. If you guys haven't heard from other YouTubers out there, when it comes to those harder stages, if you make one mistake, that can literally be the end of the match here. So having an opportunity to collect the status resist or incorporate a little bit more resistance on your team is very beneficial, and that's why I feel like he is somebody to kind of look out for. Last but not least, we got ourselves Vixx. Now this one is actually one that I have built. I got it sitting on the side as I don't know if you guys saw, in a couple of weeks ago they did some grade arena where they had like 5-star, 4-star, and 3-star grade arena. When that comes around back again, I'm looking to make a 3-star comp and see how I could do versus the meta. And I feel like when it comes to 3-star healers, he's probably one of the best, if not the best healers currently in the game. when it comes to the 3-star category, okay? So taking a look at his skills, he has a heal, right? It's going to be a heal recovery for 5% based on the team HP, and then 11% of the caster's attack 4 times, so it's a heal over time for 4 turns. This one also kind of has the same aspect of Vista there, being able to remove 1 beneficial effect with a 40% chance. And then his second skill, though, is he creates a shield with durability equal to 50% of the max HP for 12 turns. I definitely like the overhaul, like the shield, putting on the shield on top of your heals, especially when you get into certain situations on the boss fights where you kind of want to stack it, let the skill cool down while you are sitting there with a nice HP, and then of course as it continuously works down, by the time it works down, you're going to be able to have that skill, up, very quickly. Now, that being said, taking a look at this right now, you guys can see this is a 45-second cooldown time. But again, prioritizing your skills, making sure you're timing your skills appropriately will allow you to go ahead and cycle through those heals efficiently. And then, of course, like I said before, as you get those 3 stars and get more skill ups here, you can see that it will go ahead and reduce the cooldown time and make the heal a little bit stronger and a little bit longer. So even though, like you guys saw with this first skill up here, or going from level 2 to level 3, we got the reduction from 45 seconds to 40 seconds. It's still a super long time, but once we made the next bump up to level 4, we have an additional 5 seconds on the positive side for the shield to stay alive, so that we can keep it, get a heads up on it and keep it up there while we're waiting for the skills to come down here. So overall, I really like all 3 of the healers. I think they all got their kind of uniqueness. I mean, the only thing to kind of bring down on this one here is that this one is not fully based on HP. It does have its heal over time, a little bit based on the attack, but in the early stages of the game, if you get the percentage-based orb on the 1 slot there, you'll be able to get, a little bit more attack power considering where he's at. But overall, because of what he offers, the full heal across the board between 1 and 2 heals, I think he's going to be one of your prime choices to do. And like I said before, for all these units here, the 3-star units, we're going to be getting a lot of them through all of our scrolls that we farm through the regular stages, as well as the regular superior scrolls that we get. So it's going to be relatively easy to skill up and get a little bit more value out of these monsters. To finish off the video, we're going to bust out that free summon that Netmarble gave us in the last update here. Every day we're going to have a free summon available. So we're going to go ahead and pop it and see if we can get lucky. Now, again, when it comes to, I'm going to do it because I know one of my subscribers said, you done screwed up. Make sure you're on June just to go so you can get it here. But one of the things that I got to put out there is, again, I'm not, regardless of what happens on this summon, we definitely don't deserve anything. Like I said it before this video here, in the last 2 days that we haven't basically made a video, I got super fortunate here with a couple more extra nat 5s. So if we can get some kind of a skill up for a monster, I'll be really happy with it. I'm looking for some fire ignises, but either way, we'll go ahead and go for the 4-star, but of course we didn't get it here. Hey, what do you know? By Tong. We just got done talking about it. So again, we already did kind of a review on him, but as far as the healers overall, it's if you're looking for the heal and you need a breaker on your team, then he's going to be the way to go. If not, I'm going to say Vixx is your man. Okay, Vixx is your man. So once again, guys, thank you guys so much for your support in these last couple of weeks with the D6 videos. I couldn't be more blessed to be a part of this community. Really been fortunate to have a lot of people providing a lot of great knowledge, not just with regards to the YouTubers and the influencer community, but honestly, a lot of you guys, the viewers. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on leaving comment section in the comment section down below if you have any questions. If you guys don't know already, there is a Reddit community that has formed. It's called DESTINY6 Global. So if you want to go and search it out, reddit.com/DESTINY6 Global. I think they got almost 1,000 members there over the past 2 weeks there, and I've seen a lot of great positivity over there. So if you guys are looking for some feedback, they do have daily advice threads and some different kinds of bullet points that you guys can go through on the right side of the screen, so that if you're looking for a little bit more information, want to do a little bit more research, that's going to be the place to go. Okay, that's going to be it, guys. Stay tuned, as next video, you don't want to miss it. We're going to be talking about 2 to 3 ways that you can essentially improve that opportunity of awakening your monsters and making things just a little bit easier that you might not have already known about. All right, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's your boy Childish, ChildishPlays checking out, and take care. We will see you in the next D6 video. I'm out.